In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm Madison Kasper.
And I'm Daniel Lopez. Welcome back, Sharks. In this episode of Mako TV, we celebrate College Radio Day. We learn about how NSU Athletics partnered with the Sports Science Department, and we met NSU's new campus fraternity, Phi Kappa Tau.
President Harry K. Moon hosted his first State of the University address in the Rick Case Arena, where he discussed NSU's growth and future plans. My co-anchor, Daniel, was on the scene.
Of universities, scientists.
NSU's State of the University address was held in the Rick Case Arena on October 1st. NSU President Dr. Harry K. Moon reflected on NSU's growth and discussed plans for the future. One of President Moon's goals is making NSU bigger and better.
As more people are seeking what we have to offer, particularly with our geographic spread, and we are becoming a national brand in what we do by the virtue of how many people we're graduating in what fields. So we can maintain that with a shared purpose and vision.
This year, NSU became an R1 university. This designation is given to universities dedicated to thorough research.
And in his vision, NSU will be a leader amongst universities in the country, right? We are a Carnegie R1 university, we are an opportunity university, and we want to be the best university in the country.
NSU's president, Dr. Harry K. Moon, spoke directly to the NSU community in his first State of the University address. He highlighted the school's growth, initiative, and goals. Through the address, Dr. Moon highlighted plans for NSU's many programs.
I think Dr. Moon's speech was very inspirational. I know that the focus in his areas are health, ocean, and it's just such an important part of Florida. And being a resident of Florida, it's really important as we see this every single day.
The event was open to all students in hopes that those who attended felt seen by the university.
That shows that they care for the students, that they always are looking for better, trying to work towards a new goal, to make ways to innovate new technology as well, stay up to date with everything that's going on.
The State of the University address marks another step in NSU's path towards growth, innovation, and overall impact. I'm Daniel Lopez with Mako TV.
Daniel, what did you think of President Moon's speech?
Knowing that this was President Moon's first State of the University address, I'm excited to see what the future holds for NSU. Mako Radio celebrated World College Radio Day outside the NSU's University Center. Our reporter Jonathan Paul has the story.
Every year, NSU's Mako Radio joins stations around the world to celebrate World College Radio Day, a worldwide tribute to student-run radio. Students and faculty came together to highlight student creativity, community, and music.
The main goal behind College Radio Day would be to showcase our student DJs and the voices of college students that might not be heard in the mainstream, including the artists that we play on air.
The event was kicked off by a performance from NSU's Mako band and singer Natalie Marin, who DJs for Mako Radio as DJ Venus. From live interviews in the booth to performances outside, the day brought together students, faculty, and local talent. Station manager Jonicia Martinbor says collaboration is what makes NSU unique.
I think it's very important for us to get involved with the arts programs here, like DCMA, because they're all around the campus and they're a part of what makes NSU because we're part of the student body. So I think it's very unique to NSU, and I think all students should be able to have the opportunity to experience College Radio Day. Yeah.
College Radio Day brings people together and highlights student-run radio stations, which is in sync with this year's theme, Tune Into the People.
The theme this year is Tune Into the People, and that is exactly what College Radio does here. We are not just tuning into the station, but to tune in kind of means to be in sync. So I think that we're really getting in touch with and getting in sync with fellow community members here at NSU.
Because we want to make sure that
select members of the NSU community were invited to give live interviews in the booth.
It was an honor to be asked and to get to connect and be a part of this great event. I know it's been growing every year. It's become a really wonderful tradition. And I have to say, the flyers were so cool that I had to just come and see what it was all about.
Performers from across campus joined the celebration, including the cast of NSU's production of Rent, the DCMA dancers, and the Stop and Shake dance team.
We wanted to be a part of College Radio Day to put Stomp and Shake out there and get people used to the majorette style. Not too many people know about majorette or the type of dance that we do, and it's kind of good that people of our kind of our culture, we get to demonstrate our style of dance.
Students, faculty, and families all came out to celebrate College Radio Day.
We love NSU, and coming here is amazing. We have a good time every time we come in here.
When it started raining, the energy remained so high, even I had to join. I'm Jonathan Paul with Mako TV.
Joining me to talk about updates with Mako Radio is Assistant Station Manager DJ Romi. Welcome, DJ Romi.
Again, thank you for having me, Madison.
How was College Radio Day?
College Radio Day was a huge success. I just want to shout out real quick Dr. Bruce, Chris, Mike, all the Mako Radio staff, the volunteers, Mako TV, Mako News. They made that day an unforgettable day. It was just so awesome. From dancing in the rain to having food trucks, having great music, great podcasts. It was just, 2025 was a year to not forget.
What else is going on at Mako Radio?
So we're still back to usual live Monday nights from 6 to 9 p.m. And you can look up Mako Radio on Apple Podcasts and Spotify Podcasts to listen to some amazing varieties that we have. And of course, if you want any more updates, you can follow us on Instagram at NSU_Mako Radio.
Thank you, DJ Romi.
Thank you for always having me.
For our Donor Connect segment, our host, Sarah Juman, Donor Relations Coordinator for University Advancement, sat down with Andrew Koenig, CEO of City Furniture, to discuss the City Furniture Scholarship Fund.
Welcome to Donor Connect. I'm Sarah Juman, and today I'm joined by Andrew Koenig, CEO of City Furniture, visionary business leader, and proud NSU MBA alumnus. Welcome, Andrew.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Andrew has led City Furniture through remarkable growth, championed sustainability and innovation, and continues to give back to NSU through mentorship, teaching, and the City Furniture Scholarship Fund. We're thrilled to explore his journey, his passion for purpose-driven leadership, and the impact of his generosity on our students. Thanks so much for being here, Andrew.
Happy to be here. Happy to share my story.
And so your dad is Keith Koenig. And I was also reading that his brother, your uncle, Kevin Koenig, established and founded City Furniture back in the 90s. That must have been so cool, getting to experience that growing up as a kid.
Yeah, so City Furniture started in 1994, but actually they first formed Waterbed City in 1971. So we transitioned into City Furniture in 1994, and yeah, like you said, I've grown up learning about the furniture industry, the waterbed industry my entire life, and proud second generation trying to keep it going.
So Andrew, tell me a little bit more about City Furniture. Where are your locations?
Sure. So City Furniture is a home furnishings retailer, just so everybody knows, all across the state of Florida. We have about 40 locations, 4 warehouses, about 2,700 people throughout the state. So we're as south as, deep South Miami, all the way to North Ocala, Tampa, Orlando area, working on Jacksonville. But yeah, we're a family business, home furnishings retailer with a lot of folks in the state, whether that's our sales associates in our stores, our warehouse supply chain folks and that are all over delivering across the whole state. And our corporate office is located close by here in the city called Tamarack. So. Business is good. We're really excited for the future. We have some, we can only grow north, so we're looking to grow into North Florida, into Jacksonville, and real proud of where we're at and where we're going.
And the City Furniture Scholarship Fund is such a meaningful gift. What inspired you to create it?
Well, number one, you guys asked me. You guys asked, and we fund it. But it was a good idea on behalf of NSU to suggest such a program, and it definitely was a good, I love the idea of our money going back to kids and helping them, get their career started, take them to the next level. And, my father, our whole family believes in education and how important it is. So it's a natural win-win, and we're happy to support it.
And so the City Furniture Scholarship Fund, what do you hope that it leaves for students, future students?
I hope the fund for the kids that are impacted, pay it forward. We've done it to pass it on to them, and we're hopeful that they turn into meaningful, bright young folks that do good in this world. So, I just hope they pay it forward and it keeps going. And, our purpose at City is to enrich people's lives and make the world a better place. And the Scholarship Fund absolutely does that. So I would hope those kids keep that going.
Thank you so much, Andrew, for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I enjoyed it. Appreciate you.
It's great learning more about you.
Oh, thank you all.
This has been Mako Media Donor Connect. I'm Sarah Juman. See you next time.
Thank you, Sarah. Next for our sports segment, we have our sports reporter Isabella Fernandez de Cueto to give updates on NSU sports.
Thank you, Daniel. Joining me is Maya Esparza from Athletic Communications and the NSU women's swim team. Welcome, Maya.
Thank you for having me.
Women's tennis began their season 2 weeks ago, and they had an important tournament earlier this week. How did that go?
What an awesome weekend. They placed first for the 3rd time in Sharks history at the ITA South Regional Tournament.
You and the swim team had its first meet of the season. How did it go?
It was a super exciting weekend. It's always fun to travel and bond so early in the season. We did really well. There was a lot of standout performances, and we won against Carson Newman and Kenyon, but we fell short in the UND meet. But I'm really excited to see where the season takes us.
That's great. And there were 3 NSU athletes who were named SSC Athletes of the Week. Who are they and what are their accomplishments?
Lena Sadie won the SSC Runner of the Week after a first-place finish at the Florida Runners Invitational. Ivan Ponce-Dominic won the Jay Jennison Cup, putting him as the SSC Golfer of the Week. And Genesis Hernandez has had an awesome week. She is now the SSC Offensive Player of the Week and has 10 goals overall, putting her in the D2 Top 10 list for scoring.
Amazing. Thank you for being here, Maya.
Thank you for having me.
Sports science plays a huge role in the athletics department here at NSU. I visited the department to learn more about their partnership.
At NSU, sports science is helping athletes train harder and perform better. From the lab to the field, science is shaping the future of NSU athletics.
Assistant Athletic Director for Sports Medicine, Dustin Gatens, details what him and his team do for the student athletes.
We're trying to give them knowledge and give them experience and give them tools for when they leave here for the athlete for the next 50 years after this. Like, the more active you are, usually the more healthy you are, and the healthier you are, usually the better life lived. So if we're talking about lifelong wellness, sports science kind of plays into that as far as like teaching these student athletes how to take care of themselves, both during their careers at NSU and beyond.
Assistant Athletic Director for Sports Performance and Student Athlete Wellness, Steve Orris, expresses that technology in sports medicine is growing.
Everything is cyclical. And as I've mentioned, 25 years in the field, we've seen things come and go. We've seen things become more important and less important. But I think technology is always going to be something that we use. Certain things are going to become more important than other things. It's definitely a developing technology, a developing science. And it's interesting to see where it goes. Where it goes exactly, I don't know, but I know it's here to stay.
NSU Athletics uses different methods to help their athletes perform and recover.
From a technological perspective, one of the big things we've had here, and we're fortunate, we're one of the first Division II schools in the nation to have one. We have a underwater treadmill, so anything that we can't do out on the court or out on the field first, we can do in the underwater treadmill. So tremendous piece of technology. We have other modalities here that are primarily geared towards whenever we're talking about whether recovery from an injury or just recovery from playing their sport, we're trying to enhance localized tissue environment for healing. That's just a big fancy way of saying we're trying to get better blood flow, we're trying to have better lymphatic return to help people heal.
The strength and conditioning and sports medicine departments play a huge role in keeping student athletes competing at the highest level. I'm Isabella Fernandez de Cueto with Mako TV.
Thank you, Isabella, and thank you, Maya. This year, a new fraternity has joined NSU, Phi Kappa Tau. Our reporter Isabella Perez has the story.
This semester, NSU welcomed Phi Kappa Tau to its Greek life. This fraternity helps young men build character.
I think everyone else, every other Greek organization on campus is amazing. I think just for me personally, having that opportunity to build something new here and kind of be a part of something starting from the ground up was really important to me, and I found my home here.
Coordinator of Fraternity and Sorority Engagement Malik Smith helped the fraternity come to NSU. He and the Fraternity Council voted on the integration of it into NSU.
I think for me, I look for sustainability. When they come to this campus, will they last here? And I also think I look for if they're going to be a good fit. Do their values align with our values, and do our students see themselves as being a part of this organization? Those are the most important to me.
This is the first time in 5 years that NSU has seen a new fraternity on campus.
We also believe in brotherhood, so a little more about us is our National Philanthropy is Serious Fun Children's Network, which is where kids with like Down syndrome, terminal illnesses, we send them to kids camp and we raise money and we also go and volunteer at those camps. So we're really heavy on philanthropy as well as like voting better men.
Members of Phi Kappa Tau build their character through supporting others. NSU supports Phi Kappa Tau by involving it in the NSU community.
Yeah, so our doors are always open. They're always welcome to come in here and ask questions, whether it be good or bad. And then also we want to support them in ways where we have spaces available for them to have their events, have their chapter meetings, spaces for them to just be able to enjoy themselves while being a member of this new fraternity. We want them to feel just as a part of our community as anyone else.
Phi Kappa Tau was founded in Oxford, Ohio in 1906. I am Isabella Perez with Mako TV.
Joining me for our arts segment is our executive producer and arts reporter, Jocelyn Saccucci. Welcome, Jocelyn.
Hi, Madison. Thank you for having me.
What's going on with arts here at NSU?
On October 17th and 18th, Shark Talent is hosting its Shark Showcase, a night for students to display their talent for dance, music, and fine arts. This event will begin in the Performance Theater at 7:30 p.m. Mayfly is a 24-hour theater production held annually at NSU. The entire show is staged and directed in 24 hours and performed the next day on October 25th. This event will take place in the Black Box Theater at 7:30 p.m. October 15th is Dance Awareness Day. For our Sharks in the Arts segment, our reporter Carrie Corson sat down with dancer Alexa Ibarra to learn more about how NSU celebrates Dance Awareness Day.
Welcome to Sharks in the Arts. I'm Carrie Corson. It is my pleasure to welcome our guest, sophomore and exercise and sports science major, Alexa Ibarra. Hi, Alexa. We appreciate you being with us today.
Hi, I'm glad to be here.
How did you get involved in dance?
Okay, so my mom put me in dance when I was 5, and I started in recreational dance. So I was just doing recitals and like dancing for fun. But then my coach was like, do you want to start doing competitions? So I tried doing competitions, and that was when I was 7. And I really liked it, so I kept doing it up until I was 18, and now I'm dancing here at NSU.
Wow, so most of your life you've been dancing. That's really great to hear. What is Dance Awareness Day?
Okay, Dance Awareness Day is to bring the arts into the light, because the arts usually are kind of in the back of everyone's mind, and we like to bring that out to show everyone what the arts can do and how it can help your mental health, how arts are just fun, and we can bring awareness to the NSU students and the high schools around us to dance.
What is your role in Dance Awareness Day?
My role this year is just helping around and doing the sign-up sheets for the high schoolers that come in, so that they make sure they know what classes they're going to, because we have some classes in the PT, in the Black Box, in the Recplex multipurpose room, so I need to make sure that they all know where to go.
Why do you feel that it's important to be a mentor to younger dancers?
I feel it's very important to be a mentor to younger dancers, because in a lot of situations, dancers tend to think like competition is a very high stress environment, and they tend to like stray away from dance because of the environment. But not every dance environment is like that. Here at NSU, it's very homey, very team-like, very like we check up on our friends, like we're here to have fun with each other and make a bond. So we want to make sure that everyone's like happy and okay and like having fun.
Oh, I love to hear that. Do you have any final thoughts that you'd like to share?
Just that I hope to see a lot of you at Dance Awareness Day.
Sounds like fun. Dance Awareness Day is October 15th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Workshops and performances will take place in a variety of spaces on NSU's Fort Lauderdale campus, including classrooms, the Black Box Theater, the Performance Theater, and the Miniachi Theater. Information about this and other events can be found online at nova.edu/arts. This has been Sharks in the Arts. I'm Carrie Corson. Until next time, carry on.
Thank you, Carrie. In collaboration with NSU's Gallery Studies class, artist Natalie Alfonso brought her art to NSU's UC Gallery 217. Our reporter Alexandria Monroe has the story.
Throughout the fall semester, students in the Museum Studies course learned gallery curation. Students like Bria Manning-Floyd worked alongside a South Florida artist to showcase her artwork.
I think that working with artists really helped because instead of going off maybes and ideas and hypotheticals, we were able to go straight to the source and figure out how exactly to turn her ideas into reality.
Museum Studies students curated the guest exhibition of Natalie Alfonso, called Hidden. The show features videos of the artist drawing a continuous line.
But I guess my point of view in this exhibition, particularly with the video drawings, is that people take a little bit of a pause to see how my hands are the recording of certain marks that only passed in a moment of time, and that they bring this with them in a memory.
Exhibits like these teach students what it takes to curate a space.
I thought it was a unique way to have the student body participate in her exhibition. It was kind of no pressure to draw whatever you want, draw a line that didn't really mean anything, and honestly, the one rule was that you have to draw something that doesn't have any other meaning, which I thought was unique, and it kind of actually made me think a little bit more than if I was to just draw whatever I wanted on the board.
Students in the course showcase art and their knowledge of museum curation. It gives them hands-on experience for the real world.
I think we're always looking for new ways for students to not just be receiving information, obviously, but to apply it themselves in real-world contexts. And so this is a great example of that. By doing the curating themselves and preparing the exhibit, they're not just learning about museum studies, but they're demonstrating it for themselves.
Hidden will be on view in Gallery 217 until November 7th. I'm Alexandria Monroe with Mako TV.
Thank you, Jocelyn, for all the updates.
Thank you, Maddie.
For our health update, I got the chance to sit down with Dr. Arti Raja to discuss heart rate monitoring apps. Let's take a look. Welcome to the health update. I'm Madison Kasper. With me is Dr. Arti Raja, Mako Media's Science and Health Advisor. Welcome, Dr. Raja.
Thank you, Madison.
Our topic today is how HRV tracking helps us understand health, stress, and lifestyle. Dr. Raja, what is HRV?
HRV stands for heart rate variability. So HRV is actually measuring the time between heart rates. And in reality, naturally, there is a fluctuation between heartbeats, and that's normal and it's okay to have. But what an HRV tracker does is it actually measures that variability and then it tries to tie it to health and wellness. And this variability, while there, it's not something that you and I can just kind of figure out on our own. You need these kind of very unique devices that can pick up these little variations.
Why is tracking it so important for overall health?
What they're noticing is that they're trying to relate that to, can the variability give us an indication in terms of how anxious the person is or how stressed might the person be? And if the variability can give us that information, what can we do with that information? Will we be able to change the way we behave, change our stress factors, and thereby maybe make our day-to-day life a little less stress-free, or less stress, therefore better for us?
Now, I know people that have these apps that help them track HRV. Correct. So what apps and how does the app track it?
So these devices are measuring that interval between the heart rates. And they usually, for example, this can be done in a hospital. So usually when people go to a hospital, they get something called an electrocardiogram, which is an EKG. Which does exactly that. It monitors your heart rate, but when physicians do it, they do it over, for example, they'll make you wear this monitor, and they'll monitor your heart rate over like a day, for example. So many minutes, many hours. And that tracking of what is the heart doing is an indicator of how stressed out the system is. And now, we have transitioned from, instead of having to go into the hospital to do this, there are now devices that people can wear, and that will monitor the same thing. Well, I don't want to equate the same thing. They're not necessarily the same as an EKG getting it in the hospital, but it's a quicker way of perhaps making an assessment, and that's what these wearable devices are tracking.
Any last thoughts?
I would always say one should be careful about these. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't treat that as medical advice necessarily. I would definitely talk to your physician. If you're an athlete, they might feel like they want to use this more. It makes sense to them because they're constantly active. But still speak to the physician, learn about these devices, also understand what kind of data the device is offering, and also be aware that you are transmitting data back and forth. So that's something to be careful with as well. Who's storing this data? It is your health information, but one thing to remember is this health information that is being accessed by these wearable devices is not protected under what we refer to as HIPAA laws. So who's really accessing this information? Could they share this information with other third-party devices or apps? So those are things one should be careful about. One should read about it a little bit before kind of just sharing all this information on social media or anywhere else. So lots to think about, but at least something new on the horizon to keep an eye out on.
Thank you, Dr. Raja.
Thank you, Madison.
This has been the Mako Media Health Update. I'm Madison Kasper. See you next time.
Madison, what do you think about these new apps?
You know, they're pretty interesting, and I know a few people that are quite obsessed with them, so maybe I'll have to download one.
To end off our show, our reporter Olivia Nur asks NSU Sharks about their favorite album of the year.
There has been a lot of new music released in 2025. Today, I am asking Sharks about their favorite album and what has been on repeat this year. What has been your favorite album released in 2025?
There are definitely a lot, but I would have to say Bite Me by Renee Rapp. It came out pretty recently. The tracks on it are just so she's a really wide range, great singer. I love to see her in so many other projects, so many other songs. Of course, Leave Me Alone is one of the best songs on that, and I Think I Like You Better. Definitely one of my favorite songs on that album. Can definitely relate to it quite a bit. So yeah.
My favorite album so far is To Dry a Tear by Kamari.
What stands out about this album for you?
I love that he's just so real with his emotions. He's not afraid to hide how he's feeling in a relationship, out of a relationship, or just life in general with his mom, with God, just everything. And he low-key sounds like Frank Ocean a little bit, so I really like it.
Honestly, there's a lot, but the one that stood out to me the most was We Still Don't Trust You by Future that came out this year. And I believe that my favorite song was Show of Hands because it has Kanye and he's one of my favorite artists.
What has been your favorite album so far in 2025?
So far in 2025, my favorite album has been P-Pop Culture by Karan Aujla and Icky. And that's it. That's my favorite album.
What about this album stands out to you?
So specifically, P-Pop Culture, the P in P-Pop stands for Punjabi, and I'm Punjabi. I'm of Punjabi culture, and something that really stands out to me is I always try and show my Punjabi culture because I'm very embedded in it, and I come from a very cultural background in Punjabi culture.
Oh, it has to definitely be Some Sexy Songs for You by Drake. Yeah.
What stands out about this album for you?
I don't know. Whenever I'm in the car vibing, I'm just like, who's calling my phone? Who's calling that? Who's calling my phone? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Now we have heard from NSU students about their favorite albums so far this year. I'm Olivia Nur with Mako TV.
Thank you, Olivia. That is all for this episode of Mako TV. You can catch our solo release videos on our YouTube channel at Mako Television.
You can also follow us on Instagram at NSU_Mako TV. Thank you for watching.
See you next time. Go Sharks!